Hello and welcome back. I'm Randy Newbert from VoodooFX. In today's video, we'll be showing a high-speed camera shot of me doing some weathering techniques on a Sandcrawler build that I'm working on. These will be shot in about a 6-hour period, and this should be about a 6-minute video. So let's get going. Okay, so here I'm starting off with some of the very first uh, areas to tape off, and I'm using my back photograph area there that I've set up a little photo profile, so I've got a really good close up of what I'm looking at. And basically here I'm masking and getting the areas prepared for doing some of the weathering that's on the top. It's kind of the orange rust color. And in here, I'm starting off very lightly, very small, just to get myself some bearing on how the effect looks. And what I'm doing here is I'm kind of dabbing and I'm kind of going at a 45-degree angle. And I'm using the mix that I'm using in the orange is a little bit watered down, so I can come back and highlight more as I want to get a little more intensity out of the highlight color. So as this kind of progresses along, um, you know, the best thing I can say is when I'm doing this in any kind of weathering technique is multiple layers. So when you're doing a project like this, it's going to take a long period of time in order to build all these layers on to the model. And as I slowly progress my way through it, I'll get to a point where I'll, make a stopping point. And then you kind of look back at it and you say, okay, well, I don't like this, or I don't, or I like that, but I don't like this. So then you start playing around with it and you kind of go back and forth. And this is pretty common for most weathering techniques overall. And again, this is kind of an ad lib thing. This is something that there's no really set guideline. I'm following some reference photos in order to keep myself closely in line with what I'm after for the effect. But again, this could, possibly be completely changed as I'm going through this process. So, again, and since I'm doing two of these back to back, this is kind of double the workload. A lot of guys think that, oh, it's easier to run out a two models. And I want to clarify right there that it's double the trouble. So just to kind of give everybody an idea of how it is in the real world of model building and doing assembly work and weathering. So anyway, so right now here, obviously I'm on the phone, and as usual, I'm probably on the phone way too long. I forgot what this phone call was, but I think it was a client that had some questions regarding some electronics. So I was very patiently listening to him and trying to also keep my the flow going when you're doing weathering. This is a real important part. Again, here you can see I'm kind of drying it down, and I'm applying some of the other body colors. And now I'm starting on the second one. And again, I'm pretty much repeating the same process that I did on the other one. I'm going to tape it all off. I'm using a 3M like lacquer tape, fine line tape, in order to get really crisp lines out of it. I don't want any leakage down on the other side. So it's really good to tape it off well. And I'm also using, again, a lower mask. There you can see I gave you the number 2. And this technique, since I learned the first time around, I could go a little fatter on the splotching of the orange in order to blend it. And again, this will evolve a lot as I go. But again, since I'm building 2 of them, I've got the convenience to make a lot of mistakes on these first runs as I'm building, or doing the weathering. And then that way, the client that I'm building this other one for also is, because I've got two. These are two commission build up jobs, and again, I can fine tune it as I go, so then I can get a really good feel for it. And anyway, both of them are going to work out to be really nice. Either way, these are model kits that are provided by Randy Cooper Models, and this is one of the nicest Sandcrawlers out there for sure. It's a big model, scale wise, and it's very impressive as far as the overall look and accuracy. And it's been a little bit of a challenge, like all models are, but pretty typical for any builder. Can pretty much handle this style of model, or building this style model resin kit. So anyway, so here again, without trying to get this too boring, that's why I did shoot all this in high speed, because I wanted everybody to get a really good perspective of how long this actually takes to do. Again, I think this is about a 6.5, maybe 7 hour period that I took. The lapse is, I think, 1 minute for 1 hour, I think, is the breakdown. So anyway, so here I'm all finished up and cutting the tape off, and that's it for this weathering job. And we'll see you on the next video.